Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody is doing well. We have a lot to go over tonight. As we all know, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the true crime world, unfortunately. Some good things, some not so good things. So we're going to be taking a look at Audrii Montgomery's case, or Audrii Cunningham's case. Adam Montgomery was convicted on all charges in the death of his daughter Harmony. I have some local stuff that I'm going to share with you. And speaking of Audrii Cunningham, I did come across, because literally I was listening to Mr. Steve True Crime Web had a show tonight about Delphi. So I was listening to that and doing some last minute researching on some, see if there were any updates on any of the cases or any of the missing persons that we're going to be talking about tonight. And I did find, apparently Audrii's family has released a statement. I came across it, so I will read that to you guys. And apparently the school that she attended has set up a scholarship name in her fund. So I'll give you the information about that. Like I said, we have a lot of missing persons information I want to share with you. So hang in there. It could be a long one. Who knows? We'll see. Dandy's here. Hello, Dandy. Good to have you here as always, my dear. And Dandy's been putting some of my links in for me. If this is while we're waiting for some more people to pop in here, if this is your first time here, welcome. This is Southern Gal True Crime. I share missing persons, cold cases, current true crime in the news, like we're going to be talking about tonight, and more. And when I share the missing persons and cold cases, most of them that I share are not the ones that get the national attention. Not that those cases aren't important, but there are so many cases, not just here in Arkansas where I am, but all over the country, that don't get national attention, don't get the local attention that they deserve. So I just wanted my channel to be to bring as much awareness to these cases as possible. So go to get all my shameless plugging out of the way. That was falling over here. My cat is probably running amok as usual. So like I said, if you're new here, welcome. Please consider subscribing. Like, shares, comments, all those things help small channels like mine it pushes out this information to as many people as possible. That, like I said, that is the whole point of my channel, is to get make as many people as possible aware of these missing persons and cold cases. You can, as Dandy put in, she put in the link. You can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. I do put stuff in the group and on the page that I don't put here on YouTube. And in the group, it is a private group, so we can kind of have a little bit more in-depth discussion, or be a little bit more opinionated, and express our opinions and our thoughts and our theories a little bit more than we can here on YouTube. So please consider joining the group. It is private. It's of course no charge. So please consider that. If you ever have any questions or comments for me, you can email me at the email address there on the screen, or you can just pop a comment in any of my videos or chats, or videos, chats, live stream comments. If you have a case that is dear to your heart, maybe you know the victim, it happened in your home city, your hometown, your home state, or even if it's just anywhere in the country or the world and you don't think that this case is getting enough attention, email me the details, the victim's name, the state it occurred in, any information you have. I will research it and do my best to find all the information I can about it. And I'll do a video or a live stream, make it a case of the week, or feature it in my missing persons. I will be more than happy to do that for you guys. That is what I'm here for. If you would like to help support the channel and the search for the missing, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account, a PayPal Me account, Southern Gal True Crime merchandise. A portion of all donations go to, of all donations and merchandise sold go to a very worthy cause. There are some other wonderful creators. There are some of my favorite creators, my inspirations, that go out and help families free of charge, to help families find their missing loved ones, help on cold cases to try to get answers for these families. And you can find these links in my, go to the homepage of my channel, scroll down to visit our friends, Mr. Steve at True Crime Web, Chris from the Mob Crew, Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets, and numerous people behind the scenes. They go out and help these families. They have a nonprofit set up. Maybe Dandy, and I can never remember, Dandy, if you can maybe snag the True Crime Web website and stick it in there if you get a chance. It's a 501k nonprofit. And speaking of donations, I forgot to mention it on my last live, but within the last month or February, Lone Pony donated through PayPal, and Honeybee donated through Buy Me a Coffee. So I did, when I was attending or in Mr. Steve's live stream he did tonight, I did make a donation on behalf of friends and our mutual communities, you know, to say thank you, as a thank you from all of us. So, like I said, if you donate, it not only helps me in the channel, it helps to aid in the search for the missing, and that is the most important thing. We might have some, I'm just going to put trigger warning, adult content. There might be a little bit of of course, anytime we're talking about cases that involve missing persons, missing children, homicides, it's going to be disturbing. Of course, there won't be anything, graphic, but just take into consideration. All right, so I think that's all my shameless plugging. Let's see what we got going on in chat. Junior's here. Hello, Junior Johnson. Good to see you. From Michigan. Are you back in Michigan right now, or are you still going back and forth between, was it Michigan and Kentucky? Wherever you're at, safe travels, my friend, as always. It's good to see you here. And for, well, as I say this, I was going to say my second self on my laptop was behaving itself, but it could go into the dumpster any minute. So, but I have a backup plan as always. Hold on. Of course, it's just, oh yeah, see, I just lost my second self. Let me try to get back in. So while I'm waiting to get for my second self to get back in, I'll do it old school for a minute. Good. Junior says that he is home for a while. Good, Junior. I hope you're. I think you mentioned you were going back and forth, taking care of a family member. I hope your family member is doing well. Thoughts and prayers to you and your family member, your whole family. I hope everything is okay on that front. All right. Trying to get my second self back in there. All right. I'm back. I'm back for a minute. Make sure my second self's cam and I'm still muted on my second self. Okay. So I'll go back full screen because there are some slides that I have to read from the slides. So we will get started. And well, first some more shameless plugging. I checked, and since then it has risen a little bit. Hold on. Sorry, I dropped my stylus. I may not need it, but then again I may. So anyway, this is from earlier this afternoon. I think last time I checked, I was up to we, because it takes everybody, not just me. I couldn't do this without you guys. We are up to 472 subscribers. And I think when I checked, we are over 2,300 of the 3,000 required watch hours that the channel needs to be eligible to accept super chats, super stickers, super thanks, all that kind of stuff. To hawk my put my merchandise links in. So any liking, sharing, commenting, watching, even if you just put it on in the background and listen to it or don't listen to it, it still counts as a watch. So if I get to 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, like I said, it will qualify me to accept super thanks, super stickers, super chats. You guys all know what those are. Anybody who has been on YouTube for any amount of time. That way we can try to get some more donations in, help help the search for the missing, help support this channel so I can keep going. So anything you do is greatly appreciated. And Junior says he's been visiting his stepdad in Kentucky. Very good. I hope your stepdad is doing well. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to start out with a bolo. I think I featured this in my live stream last night that I did for my case of the week. If you guys if you didn't catch the live stream or haven't watched the replay of the case of the week, I encourage you to please watch it. Such a sad, horrendous case. It was an Arkansas case from 1988. Brandy Hutchins, 35 years old. It will be 36 years in November of this year. Has not been solved, in my opinion, and in the opinion of others close to the case and family members. They think it is very solvable. It's just they have to get the right person, the right information to get enough evidence to at least bring a person of interest or suspect in for questioning. And so please go do check it out. But this bolo, and I did read, like I said, I was checking for updates earlier for anything that I was going to share tonight. And in one place, it said that the Alicia Claiborne, who's the subject of this bolo, had been the Jacksonville Police Department was looking for her in reference to capital M and aggravated robbery charges. There was one comment that said that they had arrested her. I don't know if that's confirmed yet. I went to the Jacksonville Police Department Facebook page. They have not said anything about arresting her or finding her yet, so I'm still going to keep it out there. Alicia is 19-year-old, a white female, 5'6". Like I said, she's wanted in questioning for reference to a capital M and aggravated robbery charge. So it sounds like some very, very serious stuff. So if you have any, if you're in the Arkansas area, if you have any information about Alicia, her whereabouts, anything, and it didn't say what case it was, please contact Detective Hernandez at 501-985-2802. And like I said, I'm going to keep tabs on it. I do, because I could not confirm whether or not she has actually been arrested. So I'll keep my eye on it, but I just wanted to share it again for anybody who might have missed it last night. So that is our BOLO. Our first missing person. This was another, lots of strange things going on in this one. This is Nikki Wright. And I first featured her maybe sometime last week in one of my live streams. But she went missing from she was last seen leaving her residence in Van Buren, Arkansas on February 3rd of this year. She was going to board a plane in Tulsa, Oklahoma to go to El Paso, Texas. And I think I read that she did make it to El Paso, but after that, she has not been seen or heard from again. She has no contact, according to her family. Her family has had no contact with her. On the Morgan Nick Foundation Facebook page, which is they're the ones that shared this information from the Van Buren Police Department Facebook page. Ever since the Morgan Nick Foundation featured this, there have been screenshots that people have commented, put in the comments that either Nikki or they think maybe somebody who might have control of Nikki's phone, access to her social media platforms, or somebody that may have cloned her page has been posting some very bizarre, disturbing stuff on it. It has not been confirmed one way or another if it's Nikki or if it's somebody in control of her phone. But since her family members says that they have had no contact with her again. So if you have any information, it says she could possibly be in Mexico. So if you have any information regarding Nikki or her whereabouts, you can contact Corporal Jose Hernandez at 479-471-5057, and you can remain anonymous. I'm going to go out for a minute and make sure my computer's not frozen up and I'm not missing any comments. Oh, now I'm going to hit the wrong button and turn everything into a dumpster fire. Okay. Next we have Destiny Moses. I did feature Destiny the other night. It is and I cannot for the life of me read that small writing. She is 16. She is believed to be in the with her mother, Candy Ray Crow. You see Destiny is there on the left. Her mother, Candy, is pictured there on the right of the two pictures. So it says Destiny Moses has been missing since February 2nd of this year, and it says based on intercepted communications, it is believed that Destiny is in the Pine Bluff area with her biological mother, Candy Crow. Candy does not have any rights to Destiny, does not have any legal rights, parental rights, custody rights. I'm assuming that's what it means. Candy has an open case with felony, forgery, and theft of property. Candy was released from the Arkansas Department of Corrections in 2021. She is currently on probation. Candy has absconded from her probation, and she has an active felony arrest warrant at this time. And it says that Destiny has a mom and a dad who love her very much and want their daughter home. So if you have seen Destiny or know where she is, please reach out to the Waldron City Police Department at 479-637-3103. And you can also remain anonymous on this one too. Junior says, do you know what case the 19-year-old girl is wanted for? Are you talking about, let me go back. Are you talking about this one, the Bolo? No, it has not given, from what I found, because I searched the, after I came across this, that they had posted on the Arkansas Justice Project Facebook page. I went to the Jacksonville Police Department Facebook page, and they have the basically the same information. Now, the only thing that I did find, and I was going to include it, and like I said, it was last minute, and I didn't have time to put the slide in. They have arrested another female around the same age that was also wanted in connection or for questioning in capital M and aggravated robbery. So I'm wondering if the two are not connected somehow, because it also says that Alicia Claiborne here is wanted in reference for questioning in reference to capital M and aggravated robbery. And both of the Bolos come out around the same time. But no, it has not mentioned any what case or anything that they're wanted for questioning in, but I will do some more research and see what I can find about it, because I wondered the same thing. I mean, I Google searched Alicia's name. I Google searched the other female's name on local our local news websites and just anything, and nothing came up. So at this point, apparently they're not releasing any information aside from the fact that they're looking for Alicia and possibly this other female. It just, like I said, it just made me wonder, since they're wanted in questioning for the same thing, that maybe, and they're around the same age, the same ethnicity. It makes me wonder if it's connected, but I'm sure, and they have not said anything on the local news channels on TV or satellite on our local news stations about it. So it has me perplexed too, Junior. But I will do my best to try to find some more information and bring it to you guys if I find it. Out on the prowl is here. Hello, Dave. Dale. Hey, Dale, you have a new name, Dale. Dave is here. He says, hello, all. Even to get coffee, we'll be listening in the car. Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. It's always good to have our friend Dave here. Be careful out driving. I don't know if you're going to be out checking on the owls or working or whatever you're doing, but thank you for listening in. Always good to have Dave here. Please check out Dave's channel. I don't know if Dandy's still here. She may can pop in Dave's channel. Yeah, Dave's channel. Junior says it is strange that they did not mention what case. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking, because when I found, excuse me, like I said, especially with when I came across this other female that's also wanted for the same questioning for the same things, just made me wonder if they're connected and why they haven't released any information about what case they're working on, because I haven't, I mean, well, unfortunately here, especially in Little Rock, which is the closest major city of Little Rock is the capital of Arkansas. Fortunately, our homicide rate is rising, so it seems like every day or every other day there's some kind of homicide, or so it could be in connection to any number of homicides within any part of the state. So, like I said, I will keep you guys updated. Oh, let's go. What? Okay, so Dave says sorry about the live last night. Problems with your phone. Don't worry about it, Dave. I was a little bit off, or a lot off last night when I was doing that live for my case of the week. And if you guys haven't watched it, like I said earlier, in case you weren't here, it's the case of the week, the Brandy Hutchins case from here in Arkansas from 1988. It's a hard one for me. I've had it in my list, my little notebook to do, because it does need attention. Like I said, it's almost 36 years old. It'll be 36 years old, unsolved in November of this year. And it's just a sad, tragic case all the way around. It was hard for me to get through it last night without getting too emotional. But Brandy deserves justice. The family that she has left deserves justice, which I think is her mother is, I believe, passed away, and her mother wasn't in the picture after certain things happened, and her father did the best he could. And just, if you get a chance, just please watch the replay of the live stream, and share it anywhere, everywhere you can. Sad case, but it needs attention, it needs closure, it needs justice. So anyway, I completely lost track of where I was going with that thought, but that's per normal for me. Dave says, see y'all soon. Yes, be careful, Dave. Be careful driving and listening. Okay, so we covered the Bolo. Okay, we did Nikki. We did Destiny Moses, who's believed to be with her mother, Candy Bray Crow, who does not have custody of her. We have Gary DeHart. He went missing from Mena, Arkansas on February 15th of this year. He is 55 years old, a white male, 5'7", 145 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a tan Carhartt jacket, black tennis shoes, one shoe with white laces, one shoe with black laces, a gray baseball cap, and he was carrying a blue backpack. So if you are, once again, in the Arkansas area, the Mena area, please contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office at 479-394-2511. We have Braylon Perkins. She is only 15 years old. She went missing from Little Rock on February 17th of this year. White female, 5'3", 130 pounds, with a blonde or strawberry blonde hair and green eyes. A little bit of additional information. Morgan Dick Foundation Facebook page. She is said to be considered at risk and possibly in danger. Says she was last seen in Little Rock, Arkansas, but she may be out of state by now. So, anybody in the, really anywhere in the United States, but especially in the Southeast region here in Arkansas. Once again, I'm doing my geography for the night. Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, anywhere in the Southeast region or in the whole United States, because if she ran away, was picked up hitchhiking, was taken against her will, left with somebody willingly, there's no telling, she could be anywhere. So it's very important to get this information out. So, but if you do have any information, you can contact the Little Rock Police Department at 501-371-4605. All right, so I think that was all I just wanted to get in all those missing persons, because they are, like I said, the heart and soul of the channel. So tonight we're just going to be, it's kind of I do have some slides and some articles I'm going to read from. Of course, we got Adam Montgomery, was convicted on all charges. Audrii Cunningham, that whole tragic situation. Anybody who wasn't here earlier, I did come across. Her family did release a public statement. So I'll be reading from, I'll read it to you guys. And I will also, when I get done here, I'll put it on my Discord channel, and I'll probably put it on my community page on my YouTube page. So you guys can read it, share it, whatever you want to do with it. We have once again another missing child, Elijah Vue. Not looking too good right now. I mean, we don't want to say that we don't have hope, but there's been some developments in that. They've been searching a landfill. I do have a little video about that, some articles. A little, not an update on Cassidy Ritchie, but I found an article of the celebration of life of Cassidy, and I just wanted to share that with you, kind of a little silver lining in another horrible case. We have and I can't remember if it was Mexi or Dandy Linus. Somebody brought this baby Skylar story to my attention. It was 20 years ago. A newborn baby was found deceased in the airport, the Phoenix airport, I believe it was, and it could have been longer ago than that. And now, this many years later, the mother has been arrested and charged. So I'm gonna bring you a little bit about that. And thank you to Mexi or Dandy or whoever it was that first brought this case to this story to my attention. So I appreciate that. So first, and also somebody else, also I can't remember who it was, a couple of weeks ago had brought up apparently a couple of knuckleheads, for lack of a better word, they were going to, I forgot where it was. They were heading maybe from Colorado going to Texas or somewhere. Supposedly they had said that they were going to go to a school and cause problems, let's just say, do some bad things there. They had been on the run. I know, dude. My cat's back in here fussing at me because I'm in this chair. Go lay on the bed. You'll be fine. Anyway, so these guys have been caught. So this was from a couple of days ago that was posted on the Arkansas Justice Project. It says, according to the Logan County Sheriff's Office, 2 juveniles with warrants out of Wyoming were taken into custody after a police chase and SWAT standoff. Wyrick, Edlin, and 3 adults were arrested in connection with the theft of a truck that was hauling a car on the trailer. The press release said the active case of the juvenile runaways has come to a safe conclusion. The juveniles who were reported missing have been located and are in custody. Lander PD would like to thank the League City PD out of Texas, as well as the FBI, the Sterling, Colorado Police Department, and the Logan County Sheriff's Office in Colorado for all their work in helping in this case come to a conclusion. It says the other facts and information in this case, as far as stolen firearms and stolen vehicles, are still being investigated. So these fellas are off the street, thank goodness. Even though it said that there was a police chase and a SWAT standoff, apparently they were taken into custody with nobody. They weren't hurt. No innocent people were hurt. No law enforcement was hurt. So it's always a good thing when that ends that way. And like I said, somebody had brought this one to my attention a couple of weeks ago too. I can't remember who it was, of course, but anyway, thank you to whoever it was. So that situation has been resolved. So Gonna make sure again real quick that my I hope if my stomach is growling. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. Um, okay, so this is, and I should have started bringing this, a very disturbing and bizarre case from Arkansas. You can see there on the screen it says teens find woman's body in a plastic container in Arkansas. And maybe I watched too much, watch and read about too much true crime, but when I read the specifics of how this poor lady was found, in my mind immediately popped up serial offender. Now it might not have anything to do with a serial offender. It could be, you know, just a family situation gone wrong, or a relationship gone wrong, but just very bizarre. So this comes from KARK.com, which is one of our local news websites, and it is from February 21st. And it says teens find a woman's body in plastic container in Arkansas, and this is in St. Francis County. 2 teens in Arkansas found a woman's body in a plastic container, which I'm assuming what came to my mind when I said plastic container was maybe like those plastic, big plastic totes that you can buy at like Walmart or Dollar General or anywhere. So they found the body in a plastic container Tuesday afternoon, the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office says. St. Francis County Sheriff Bobby Mays confirmed Wednesday that the body of a nude woman was found inside a plastic container that can hold 50 pounds. And this container was found on County Road 731, located about 5 miles away from Forest City. So in a very rural, out of the way area. It says, of course, the victim has not been identified at this time. It says trigger warning once again. I put a trigger warning up at the beginning, but so the body was partially decomposed. We think the body had been out there maybe a couple of weeks, and this is according to Sheriff Mays. And he says whoever did this had no feeling at all whatsoever for what they had done, no conscience. So once again, that puts in my head, if not a serial offender, at the very least, a sociopath, something along those lines. And please, in chat or in replay, let me know what you guys think. Both teens who came across this lady had been out riding four-wheelers in the area when they made the discovery. Sorry, I'm swatting ads. The sheriff said that after the teens posted about what they found on social media, hopefully they didn't post any pictures, a person contacted them saying that the woman, maybe whoever this person contacted, I'm assuming the sheriff, saying that the woman found maybe his mother, who was last seen 4 weeks ago. But according to the sheriff, this son never reported her missing. So now I don't know what the reason would be, or if he thinks, you know, if his mother is missing and he hasn't seen her in 4 weeks, why, you know, unless it was not common for them to have daily or weekly, even weekly contact, that could be the case. But be that as it may, he had seen her, hadn't seen her for 4 weeks and never reported her missing. A DNA sample was taken from the male and sent to the crime lab to determine who the woman is and how she died. Reports of the discovery came as a shock to a man who lives near the crime scene. He did not want to be identified, but said that he frequently walks down County Road 731 for exercise and noticed the container there 3 days ago. Now, he says, I could see it from the roadway. I did not go up to it. I wondered what was in it. And as he said, he thought that don't look right. And he says, I didn't think anything of it because they always dump garbage there down that road. He said that he was shocked to learn that a body was found inside the container. And once again, and I don't mean to laugh, I'm not laughing at this situation, but anytime I'm riding in a car and not driving, I'm always looking on the side of the road, and especially if we're traveling, we do a lot of traveling on bus with tour groups, going on trips. I'm always finding myself looking out, and especially if there's big ditches or water. If I see a box or a bag or anything laying on the side of the road, my first thought is there could be a body part in there. Now, like I said, it's probably me just watching too much true crime, but it's just you never know. You never know. People, offenders unfortunately dump remains and body parts on the side of the road all the time. So this man, this neighbor that walks up and down this road goes on to say, I did not realize anything like that was inside there. Nothing like this has ever happened down this way. Sheriff May said the search is very active to find out who put the woman there. These are the kind of people who want to be, who we want to put behind bars for sure, he said. Absolutely. The sheriff said the incident is being treated as a homicide. The plastic container and the victim were also sent to the state crime lab for testing. The investigation remains active, and the duffel bag. So apparently, it didn't say it in this article, but another article I was reading about this, she was put into a duffel bag and then put into this container. So the duffel bag has also been sent to the state crime lab for testing. And I think that was the end of the article. So yeah, very bizarre. Like I said, my spidey senses go off whenever I hear about a body that's found inside a duffel bag, and she might have been wrapped up in a blanket or something too, but most definitely she was put inside a duffel bag and then inside a plastic container of some sort and just left out in the middle of nowhere. Very rural area. It always gets my spidey senses tingling. That this could be something, it's bad, but something very bad, as in possible dumping of a body by a serial offender. Now, I don't know. It may not be. Probably will turn out not to be. It could just be, like I said, an argument gone wrong, a relationship DV situation that ended badly, and the offender just said, "Hey, I'm just going to put her in this duffel bag in this container and take her out and leave her in the middle of nowhere." But at any rate, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Horrible, horrible case. All right. So next we have this nursing student that went missing and was found deceased. Find the right. In Georgia, on the University of Georgia campus. And this information comes from Atlanta News First website. And it is from February 23rd. And it says, homicide suspect denied bond, likely did not know nursing student killed at UGA, police say. Killing ads again. A man facing homicide charges in connection to the death of a student on the University of Georgia campus was denied bond by a judge Saturday morning, so that would be yesterday, in Athens. Jose Antonio Ibarra, 26, faces charges of malice, felony homicide, aggravated battery, kidnapping, concealing the death of another, and several other charges in connection to the death of 22-year-old Laken Riley. So on the left there is the suspect that has been arrested, Jose Antonio Ibarra, and then on the right is Laken Riley. I believe she had been found, she had gone out jogging and been found on a jogging track there on the campus. Obviously another horrible case. So UGA Police Chief Jeffrey Clark said it is believed Ibarra, who did live in Athens, but he did not know, they don't believe that he knew Laken in any way. I think this was a crime of opportunity, Clark said. Riley's COD was blunt force trauma, according to law enforcement. Clark said the arrest was possible with the assistance from several law enforcement agencies, including the Athens Clark County Police Department, Clark County Sheriff's Office, and Georgia State Patrol, along with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and federal agencies. And it does say that video surveillance from campus also aided in the arrest. The evidence is robust, Clark said, adding the suspect's apartment is still being searched. He says, our work, however, is not done. Clark said there is no immediate threat of danger following the arrest. So apparently they think this was a lone offender. No danger to the public now that he is in custody. Jeffrey Clark goes on to say, this is heartbreaking. This is a heartbreaking time for the university. Just before noon on Friday, Atlanta News First cameras saw the GBI, Athens Clark County Police, campus police, and other authorities detain at least 3 people at Cielo Azulik in the Argo apartment complex, which they say is off South Millage Avenue, including Ibarra. The apartments are just south of several trails that lead to where Raleigh was found deceased on Thursday. Police said they brought in, quote, 3 or 4 people for questioning, but ultimately made 1 arrest, which was Ibarra. They are not searching for any more suspects. Officers could be seen Friday afternoon searching a nearby dumpster. State troopers were also searching trash cans at a nearby bus stop and gas station. Rest assured that the University of Georgia police, in cooperation with Athens Clark County Police and the GBI, are continuing to work around the clock to resolve this crime and to bring anyone involved into justice. And this was according to Greg Trevor, who is a spokesperson with the University of Georgia. On Thursday, just after noon, a person called University of Georgia Police after their friend did not return from a run at the intramural fields. After about 20 minutes of searching the area, police found Riley's body in a wooded area behind Lake Herrick with what they called, quote, visible injuries. She was pronounced DOA, and police said foul play was suspected later that afternoon. So when just going to go out on a limb, and when they say, please, anybody in chat or watching replay, let me know what you guys think. When they say, all they said was visible injuries. So in my opinion, that would be either, and this is just my opinion, some kind of blunt force trauma to the body, or sharp injuries with an edged weapon. It could be GSW, but it would look like if a firearm was used, somebody would have possibly heard the shots. But they just said, or it could be just with a fist, or but we'll have to wait and see if they release that information. So they say that this was the second death on campus in a 24-hour period. On Wednesday night, a University of Georgia freshman died by self-harm in Brumby Hall dorm. Sorry, my stomach is growling again. And I ate supper. I don't know why it's growling. Anyway, there it says there will be a 3 p.m. vigil Monday at the Tapp Student Center honoring the students, both students' lives. So that is the latest, or at least of this afternoon, the latest on this horrible, sad, unfortunate case. I'll check, see what we got going on. You guys are quiet tonight. Welcome everybody in chat. Everybody who's lurking, everybody who watched the replay. Good to have everybody here. So we're just going to go over some. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the true crime world news lately. We're just going to go over. And if we don't talk about any of the cases or anything that you guys want to talk about, just feel free to throw a case or a name in there, and we can talk about it. I can get on the Google machine and look it up. Right. So next, we have Adam Montgomery. So Adam Montgomery, you guys probably, most everybody here knows that Adam Montgomery, the father of Harmony Montgomery, was found guilty on all charges. I'm find the right article. There it is. Hopefully it'll come up. And any of you who watched this trial, I watched some of it. Miss Frankie from the Think Tank, another wonderful channel you guys need to check out if you haven't already. Covered just about all of this trial, the Adam Montgomery trial, live. So I was able to. Sorry, my cat's running them up. I was able to catch a lot of this trial live. Very, very disturbing. So this article is from cbsnews.com, and it is from the 23rd, which is, I don't even know what today is. So it's from yesterday. So today is the 24th. So this is from yesterday. It says New Hampshire jury convicts Adam Montgomery of homicide in the death of his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony. Adam Montgomery, the New Hampshire father accused of taking the life of his daughter, 5-year-old Harmony, was found guilty of second-degree homicide on Thursday. Montgomery was also found guilty of second-degree assault, falsifying physical evidence, abuse of a corpse, and witness tampering. Manchester Police Chief Alan Oldenburg said this is not about winning or losing. This is about a 5-year-old girl that life was taken by her father, and I can think of no worse crime. Absolutely. In my opinion, this guy, there's a special place in hell for people like Adam Montgomery. That's just my opinion. Jurors deliberated for about 7 hours after getting the case on Wednesday. They asked the judge one question Thursday about the legal definition of the word recklessly. Montgomery was not in the courtroom when the verdict was read, and in my opinion, and I know that's how he has the right not to be there, but in my opinion, he should have been in that courtroom for all the testimony, for the verdict. I said that's just my opinion, and being that he wasn't there, I'm assuming that is his right not to be in the courtroom. So he chose not to be in the courtroom for the entirety of the trial. Harmony's birth mother, Crystal Sorey, and foster mother, Michelle Rafferty, were both in the room when the verdict was read. They were joined by more than a dozen Manchester police officers who showed up to hear whether their hard work delivered justice. And I think I watched the verdict reading. I think Gisela from Grizzly True Crime went live for the verdict. And yeah, there was so many police officers there that worked on this case, never gave up on this case, did their due diligence, and got this outcome. So kudos to all the police, law enforcement, detectives, everybody who worked on this case, the lawyer, prosecution, everybody that helped bring this verdict. So, I'm trying to see who this quote is from. Oh, from Crystal Sorey, who was Harmony's birth mother, biological mother, says, he's a coward. He has always been a coward. That's why he did what he did. He took her away from the people that loved her because he couldn't hack, that he didn't have control. That's all he cared about was control, controlling everything in his life. She wasn't anything to him. Absolutely. Anybody who would do something like that to a child, she was nothing to him. It was all about him, in my opinion. He's definitely has, in my uneducated opinion, psychopathic traits, narcissistic traits. Horrible human being. I don't even want to call him a human being. Montgomery will be sentenced sometime after April 1st. Sorey says she plans to be in court when Montgomery is sentenced and will give a victim impact statement. She says, I hope that what he did plays over in his mind every single waking moment that he lives on this earth. And I hope that he never falls asleep without seeing her beautiful face. Well, I agree with her on that point, but in my opinion, like I said, people with in my opinion, sociopathic traits, narcissistic traits, he doesn't care about her. He doesn't care. The only thing he cares about and feels sorry about is that he got caught and he got convicted. Now, this is just my opinion. Feel free in chat or in comments to let me know what you guys think. The verdict comes after about 2 weeks of emotional and at times gruesome testimony. Prosecutor Benjamin Agati said on Thursday, it is a very big relief that they have seen through and that they have held him accountable for the actions that he's committed. Jurors heard closing arguments Wednesday before starting deliberations. Harmony was first reported missing in December of 2021. Police believe that her life was taken sometime in December of 2019, and her body has never been found. So this is kind of maybe rare. This was what they call a no body case, which meaning there was nobody, the body of the victim was never found, which is, I'm think probably relatively rare. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't know, but just things that I've read, it is, rare for a no body case to even go to court a lot of times. And even, I would assume even rarer that you get a conviction, although thankfully in this case you did get a conviction for a no body case. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu called Adam Montgomery a monster. Absolutely, after the verdict was read. I'm grateful to the judge, jury, and Department of Justice for delivering justice for Harmony. Adam Montgomery is a monster and deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, Sununu said in a statement. Jury deliberated for about 2 hours Wednesday and 4 more hours on Thursday before they reached their verdict. Adam Montgomery is already serving a 30-year sentence for a gun conviction in another case. During that trial, Montgomery said that he loves Harmony unconditionally and denied taking her life. Montgomery's defense attorney argued throughout the trial that his client's estranged wife, Kayla, was the one responsible for Harmony's death. Kayla Montgomery was the star witness for the prosecution and said Adam Montgomery DV Harmony took her life that way after she had a bathroom accident in the car that the family was living out of at the time. She said Adam Montgomery then stuffed Harmony's body in a bag that he hid for months before disposing of it in 2020. Sori said she last saw Harmony in April of 2019. She tried to contact Adam about her after that, but never heard back. She reported Harmony missing in 2021. The people who know me know that I've known my whole life. They know how much I love my daughter, and this is the mother talking, biological mother. And they know how much I fought for her, and I did everything I could, and when I didn't have anything left, I still tried. So that was Adam Montgomery has now been convicted of the taking of the life of his daughter, among other charges. Sentencing will be, it said, sometime after April 1st. So we'll see what happens with that. Make sure I'm just making sure my computer's not frozen up and I'm not missing anything. Okay. Dandy says, oh, talking to Dave, Dandy says, no worries. I know you're usually an owl on the prowl after hours. Yep. Dave is out prowling around and working, or excuse me, checking on the owls, whatever it is he does. And be safe out there, Dave. All right, let's see what we have next. We have we're gonna talk a little bit about, and I do have, I think, oh, I have the statement, public statement that the family has released. So when it comes to Audrii's case, there's been a lot of things said about the family. I include myself in that. I'm just as guilty as everybody else about being, when this story first broke, about being so angry about how could the family let this happen? How could the father let this monster, I don't even want to say his name, McDummy is what somebody called him in another chat. This evil monster, how could anybody, the family or whoever was supposed to be taking care of Audrii, let this monster anywhere near her? You know, I was asking, where was the mother? Where was the father, the grandmother? Why didn't they do anything about it? And this, you know, yes, Dandy, I'm going to read your comment. Yes, after yes, most definitely. But like I said, I'm as guilty as anybody else about being the first to question, almost going, you know, so far as, like I said, to blame the family. But I watched Mr. Steve's live the other night. He did a live. Mr. Steve True Crime Web did a live. I think he called it the face of a predator, or anyway. it was last night or a couple nights ago. It might have been last night. That opened my eyes. And Mr. Steve he's former law enforcement. Anybody here who doesn't know, so he knows this stuff. About just how, because I don't know, we've probably seen he was concentrating last night on these text messages that the offender was sending back and forth to Audrey's mother, the day before, and maybe I think even weeks before he had been communicating with her. Basically, kind of grooming her, manipulating her, the way that he had been most likely, allegedly grooming and manipulating Audrey. And as Mr. Steve said, if the mother, luckily, thank God, this poor mother, and every time I see that video clip interview of the mother that everybody's been showing, it just breaks my heart and makes me want to cry. This mother immediately knew, at least from these text messages that were sent in the afternoon that Audrey went missing. The mother knew something was up. And luckily she was smart enough to know something was up, and she did not fall for this manipulation, this bait, because I think, just like Mr. Steve said, made it even more clear in my mind. Something that I've kind of thought about but wasn't really sure about was that most likely if the mother would have gone out there, fallen for this ruse, the mother may have ended up deceased right along with Audrey. He would be killing two birds with one stone, so to put it. Mr. Steve may mention that maybe somebody in chat said that maybe Audrey was getting to the age where she was old enough to know that everything that had been going on between whatever, don't even want to think about what he had been doing, the offender had been doing, alleged offender had been doing to this girl. Grooming her, we've seen the tattoo video and other videos that I've heard mention of that I haven't seen. But it just made me think he was most likely, definitely, in my opinion, grooming Audrey, manipulating her, definitely manipulating the mother with these text messages. The father, from what I understand, worked on some kind of boat and was gone for long periods of time, so that left her in the care of the grandmother, who I think was allegedly dating or had a relationship with the offender. So it is entirely possible that this offender was manipulating the grandmother too, and he just had this whole family under his control. And to me, and it's like Dandy said, let me find the comment. Yes, and I think you said exactly what Dandy said, Audrii Cunningham case is infuriating. This should have never happened. The perp is the only one to blame. Families get groomed. Exactly. And I did not, like I said, once again, thanks to Mr. Steve, who makes me and other people stop and think with his explanations and these grooming techniques and manipulation, that I never even thought about the grandmother in the situation. She, in my mind, I'm 99.9 that she was groomed and manipulated too. So this monster offender, alleged offender, came in and like Danny said, groomed and manipulated this whole family just to get at Audrey. And I would not be surprised, like I said, if the mother had gone out there, did not fall for this ruse of him trying to lure her out there with this secret meeting with Audrey. If she would have went out there, in my mind, the mother would have been gone too. Maybe at some point the grandmother, something may have happened to her. Maybe even the father. He could have wiped out, if he hadn't got caught, he could have wiped out this whole family. I mean, it's just awful. Obviously, that that Audrii, he managed to get to her, but it's just, and I think I commented, or made a comment, because I think I watched the replay of the live stream that Mr. Steve did about this, the grooming and the manipulation. But I put in a comment, I said, this is the purest form, this monster, alleged offender, is the most purest form of evil that I have seen in a long time. And I've been following true crime and serial offenders and just offenders in general ever since I was probably too young to be reading about them. But yeah, this is the purest evil that I've seen in a long time, and it's just horrible, horrible case. So hopefully, if he is the offender, the alleged offender, once again, we have to put in innocent until and unless proven guilty. But Texas does not mess around when it comes to the DP. So if that's on the table, which in my opinion it should be. And also, I think another, if we're going to blame or put or question anything else about this case, back in, I can't remember when it was, he had he was convicted of indecency with a child, but somehow he got some kind of deal and it got worked down to just enticing a child, which apparently if you're just convicted of enticing a child, you do not have to register as an SO. Because I got to thinking, it reminded me of the Morgan Nick case. Billy Jack Links, who is the prime person of interest in the disappearance of Morgan Nick, 2 months after Morgan disappeared, Billy Jack Links was arrested for attempting to abduct a child from the parking lot of a Sonic in Van Buren. He was ultimately arrested and convicted of indecency with a child, and he got 6 years in prison. And all he did was, which is horrible, but he tried to get the I think she was a 10 or 11-year-old girl, tried to get her to get in the truck with him. Thankfully, she did not. Now, he did say some very vulgar and disgusting things to the girl he tried to kidnap, so I don't know if that makes a difference of what they charge him with. But yeah, he was Billy Jack Links was convicted of indecency, sentenced to 6 years. So I would think that if they had convicted this POS, for lack of a better term, this monster of indecency with a child back in, somebody, if you can remind me what year it was, it's been quite a few years ago. If he had been convicted, he would possibly be in prison. But that, unfortunately, and like I said, I don't know. And Chris and the Mob Crew, another great channel you guys should check out. Anybody who hasn't, did a live last night, and he was apparently Nancy Grace had done a show, and I completely lost my train of thought of where I was going with that. But anyway, it'll come back to me. Yes, Dandy says these people do what they do because they are sly. Absolutely. Sly, manipulative, grooming. I'm sorry, Dandy. Dandy says, I was taken advantage of as a child, yet surrounded by family. It is not their fault or to blame. It is the offender. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, after watching Mr. Steve's explanation of the grooming and the manipulating, it opened my eyes a whole lot. And yeah, I think he was manipulating and grooming this whole entire family. And it's just horrible. Horrible. Yeah, she mentioned this, I think in another live. Dandy says the movie Abducted in Plain Sight is a fine example of a community groomed by an offender. I'm going to have to find that. I'm going to have to see if it's on any of my either free services or any of the couple of streaming services I pay for. Definitely going to watch it. So yeah, just horrible. Okay, and then I have, all right, let me see if I can do this without crashing everything. Minimize that. Oh, I should have advanced my slide. Hold on. Let me bring that back up and advance my slide. Okay, so this, it's probably hard for you to read, for you guys to read here, but I downloaded it. I emailed it to myself and downloaded it to my computer so I can make it bigger so I could read it. Like I said, I will put it on my Discord channel. Danny, if you can throw my Discord channel in, I think I put a fresh invite link in there. So, and I'll probably post it on my community page of my on my YouTube channel. So let me do that. Bring up the statement. Come on, where is it? Now I downloaded it. Oh, it's a Facebook image. That's why. Okay. Hang with me. Bear with me, guys. I'm getting there. You guys can probably read it. Okay. So if I can figure out how I made it bigger in the first place, which I probably won't be able to. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay. So, oh no, don't get bigger. Get a little bit smaller. So the press release says, and this is a press release from Audrii Cunningham's family. It says, 1 week ago on Thursday, the 15th of February, 2024, Audrii Danielle Cunningham was lured under false pretenses, which led, sorry, my cat's apparently still ringing him up, which led to a senseless act of violence occurring and ultimately her death. Tragically, Audrii's death occurred at the hands of a monster we thought was a friend only 10 days after Audrii's 11th birthday. Audrii Cunningham was a charismatic, beautiful, talented, and kind young lady. She loved singing, dancing, reading, painting. She was even learning the skills of a tattoo artist. Most of all, caring for and playing with animals was her passion. Audrii's aspirations were to become a veterinarian or an animal trainer. Every day, Audrii was out caring for our pets, walking our dogs. She would even walk the dogs of neighbors in the subdivision. She touched so many lives and filled them with joy and happiness that was infectious. She had so much energy and brought a passion to everything she did. Audrii will be missed by a great many people. The Munch and Cunningham families are devastated and grieving for what happened to our little ray of sunshine, Audrii. We are being attacked and criticized on social media platforms for showing compassion and mercy to this formerly incarcerated person, but our actions with this person were a result of our faith, which teaches us to give our fellow man a second chance. Unfortunately, the system failed us due to a loophole in the SO registration system. DSM had a history of disrespect for young female children, but it did not show up when we checked the registry before allowing him to stay in an old camper in our backyard while he tried to start a new life. Had we been aware of what we know now, this man would never have set foot on our property, much less been a part of our little girl's life. We wish to acknowledge and thank the Polk County Sheriff's Office, the Livingston Police Department, and the Texas State Troopers, the Texas Rangers, the Texas State Guard, the Trinity River Authority, the FBI, and nearby county sheriff's departments, as well as thousands of volunteers, our local VFW post, and the public for helping to search for and ultimately find the body of Audrii. We also wish to thank the nonprofit organization Texas EquiSearch for their tireless efforts that ultimately led to the discovery of and recovery of Audrii's body from the waters of the Trinity River. This was a hardworking, multi-jurisdictional effort that spent long hours in order to bring our angel Audrii home to us and bring this monster to justice. We also wish to acknowledge and thank the members of the press who helped spread the word when the Amber Alert went out and quickly pulled our community together with the common goal of bringing our little girl back home safe and sound. This coverage was considered invaluable to help focus attention and gather valuable leads that helped the search efforts. We were advised not to speak with the press during this time, as it may have impeded the search for Audrii or shifted the focus from finding her. Audrii Danielle Cunningham will be missed, but hopefully not forgotten. Absolutely, she will never be forgotten. As we would like to ask legislators and law enforcement, both locally and in Washington D.C., to look at the loophole that prevented us from knowing what DM was, a convicted SO. The SO registry is a valuable tool that parents and grandparents everywhere use to keep their children safe from these violent predators. This failing of the system is a crime that we cannot allow to go overlooked. There will be a memorial ceremony for the repose of the soul of Audrii Danielle Cunningham at the First Baptist Church in Livingston, Texas on Friday, the 1st of March, between the hours of 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the public who helped in this effort are invited to attend. Please wear purple, which was Audrii's favorite color. A private funeral ceremony will be held the next day for close friends and family only. Please respect us in our time of grieving as we lay our precious little angel to rest. If you wish to drop off flowers, cash, or check donations in memory of Audrii, please contact Livingston VFW Post 8568 at 936-327-9119. A Venmo fund has also been set up to see Audrii to her final resting place. Proceeds exceeding funeral expenses will be donated in Audrii Cunningham's name to Texas EquiSearch up to the 2nd of March 2024. Later donations will be expanded to include organizations that protect our children from predators and organizations that assist these children and their families who experience this kind of senseless crime. Again, we would like to thank everyone who was involved in the search for Audrii, and we hope you will do the same for others going forward. God bless you, and God bless these children. So I thought that was just I'm so glad I came across this. Now, there may have been other creators out there or other places that have posted this, but I just came across it this afternoon and just, once again, just feel so bad for this family, what they're going through. And I found it very interesting that they too brought up this loophole or whatever it is that apparently he, the offender, managed to slip through, that he did not have to register as an SO because, according to them, they checked the registry and he was not on there. But horrible situation. But at least they did. Sorry. At least they did find her. And from what and going back to Chris's live stream that he did, during the he was playing some of the audio from the Nancy Grace interview, and one of the gentlemen from the Texas EquiSearch that actually for 2 or 3 days he had been using the sonar, and he said he saw what he knew definitely was most definitely a body, but when he would circle back around or come back around, it wouldn't be there. And let me put up my banner for a minute. His explanation was because we know that there was a rock. She was tied to a rock. So the rock was on the bottom. The rope was attached to the rock and then attached to Audrii. And it says the place where she was found, it was by these, I'm sure everybody's seen the pictures, these pylons by these bridges. So it created kind of an eddy where she was, or a swirling. And the swirling motion of her going in circles, basically attached to this rope, which was attached to the rock, was why when he would circle back, he would see her and then not see her and then see something in a different place. So it was just a miracle. Thank goodness for Texas EquiSearch and everybody who helped search, that they were actually able to find Audrii. So God bless everybody who participated. So like I said, Livingston Independent School District has set up an Audrii Cunningham Memorial Scholarship program. It says Livingston ISD Superintendent Dr. Brent Hawkins announced Thursday that the Audrii Cunningham Memorial Scholarship will be included in the Green and White Scholarship ceremony held on May 7th, 2024. Members of the class of 2024 who have submitted a Green and White Scholarship application will be eligible for this scholarship. We will accept any donations to this scholarship fund through the Green and White program. Audrii left school, so what better way to honor her memory than to help a student further their education? Donations may be made to the Audrii Cunningham Memorial Scholarship by mailing funds to the Green and White Scholarship Fund, Audrii Cunningham. It gives an address, P.O. Box 1297, Livingston, Texas 77351. Or for more information, you can contact Leah Davis at 936-328-2100 or email ldavis@livingston.isd.com. So I thought that was a very, very good way to honor Audrii by setting up this scholarship fund. All right. Got a quiet bunch in here tonight. That's all right. I see you lurkers in here. Yeah, Danny put up my Discord. Like I said, I think I put in a fresh Discord invite, so hopefully it'll work. Because apparently the Discord invites expire after like 7 days, so I have to remind myself every week to go in and link a new invite on the About section of the page. For anybody who wants to join us, join me and everybody else, all the other wonderful people who want to join us on Discord. Yes, Dandy says it's really sad that her death could have been prevented had charges not been reduced. I know. And I don't know. I mean, I don't. It's like Nancy Grace said when I was listening to Chris's live. Said he got the sweetest deal of all time to have this indecency with a child somehow reduced, whatever kind of deal they made, to enticement of a child, and got off basically what, as she said, scot-free with a slap on the wrist. I don't understand how that happens. And I still don't understand. Like I said, I'm in no way a professional, but I don't understand how even enticement of a child would not make you have to be registered on the SO registry. To me, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, anything that an adult does inappropriate with a child, in my opinion, should have to register as an SO. Like I said, that's just my opinion, but when it comes to children, you don't mess around with the kids. No, not at all. All right, let's see what we got next. We have another awful case. Elijah Vue. He is missing from, shame on me, I've got so many cases in my head I can't remember right now. And I do have a, for anybody not familiar with this case, excellent. Dandy says, Idaho passed a law on February 13th to include the DP in certain underage SA crimes. Nice. So I'm assuming you mean the DP as in the DP, if it was an SA crime, that ended up in a homicide. If I'm just please clarify if I, correct me if I'm misunderstanding that statement. But that's excellent. Yeah, that's excellent. All right, so I'm going to, because I need to, yes, Dandy says they are searching a dang landfill for this baby. Yes, that is part of the video I'm fixing to show. And I am going to mute my camera and my mic because unfortunately I'm still having problems with my sinuses, and I need to blow my nose, and I don't want to do it on camera, so I will take care of that business while I'm showing this video. It's only maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. Thank you. Dandy says I'll send you the info about Idaho in Discord. Thank you. Can always count on Dandy. She is always on top of information, documents, everything, anything and everything, information. She's the mistress of the Google machine and looking up information, finding documents. I don't know where she finds documents. Remind me, I've got to remember which case it is, Dandy. I will private message you in Discord at some point, maybe tomorrow, to see if you can get access to some documents. Now, you might not be able to. I'm not going to ask you your sources because I know sometimes that's sensitive information about where documents come from. But I'll have to remember the exact case I was thinking about. But I will think of it, and I will let you know. All right, so let me quit babbling and get to this quick video. So I'm going to mute my cam and my mic while I play this video. So hopefully I will be back in just a minute. Oh, let me take this down. I have to go to my phone to go out. Bear with me for 1 second.
The search for missing 3-year-old Elijah Vue crossed county lines Thursday. News Chopper 12 capturing exclusive video of FBI agents in hazmat suits searching a landfill in Calumet County. Heavy machinery working near a blue tent. The FBI telling 12 News they're assisting Two Rivers police in their investigation of the missing boy, but would not say what, if anything, they found.
Chief, do you have the suspects right now? And where are the mother and father in all of this?
Sorry, we're not going to take any questions at this time. Thank you.
The search follows a news conference Wednesday night with Two Rivers police where investigators refused to take questions and revealed very little about the investigation. 12 News learning police arrested Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, and another man early Wednesday morning. They're currently being held on child neglect charges.
Nobody's confirming anything at this point. So we're just kind of like lingering around, and hopefully we can get some answer from anybody at this point.
Heartbroken relatives are desperate to know more about Elijah's disappearance.
Our heart is still so heavy about it, and we really just want him found and safe and back home.
Tuesday night, 12 News was there when investigators collected a small slip-on shoe with dinosaurs on it outside this Two Rivers apartment building. Investigators also going through the building's dumpster. Online court records showing the man under arrest lives in the building.
Okay, that was a little bit of information about, as Dandy was saying, they've been searching this landfill, unfortunately, for little Elijah. And I do have an article. They do have the mother and I don't know, and a male in custody. Trying to find the right, there it is. The right article. They do have the mother and a male, I don't know if it's a boyfriend or what, in custody. And from what this article says, I think they're both going to or have been charged with child neglect. So I always want to hold on to hope, but I'm having a really bad feeling about this one, about the outcome of this one too. So this article is from Fox 11 News. It is from today. No, I don't even know what today is. What is today? So maybe it was updated. It was originally posted yesterday, but apparently it's been updated. So it says prosecutor says that the mother left Elijah Vue with the man for, quote, disciplinary reasons. So right off the bat, that does not sound good to me. But please, in chat or in replay, let me know what you guys think. So cash bonds were set for the mother of missing 3-year-old boy Elijah Vue and another man. Katrina Bauer, who is the mother, and Jesse Vong, or Vang, I think it's Vong, it's V-A-N-G, appeared in court Friday. Police are recommending Bauer, the boy's mother, to be charged with being party to the crime of child neglect, and Vong may be charged with child neglect as well. In asking the court for no bond for the two to be set, Linda Vue, who is Elijah's aunt, said, quote, at this moment, they are the prime suspects. So until we find the truth as to the whereabouts of Elijah, we want to make sure that these two are readily available for questioning. Probable cause statements against the two have been sealed by a judge. However, in court, District Attorney Jacqueline LeBray said Bauer left her child with Vong in Two Rivers for a week, for, quote, disciplinary reasons. LeBray said Bauer, who lives in Wisconsin Dells, provided false information to police about her whereabouts. I'm assuming it meant her where she was in this week, that she had sent little Elijah for disciplinary reasons, whatever that means, to this Vong characters to stay with him. In her argument for cash bond, Manitowoc County District Attorney LeBray said she intentionally sent that child for disciplinary reasons for more than a week to the residence. She was aware of the tactics used and the lack of care provided. This was an intentional thing by her. Sorry, ads are popping up. Everything's jumping. She said this was an intentional thing by her, and on at least 2 occasions during the interviews, she, the mother, has provided false information on her whereabouts during the past week. Court Commissioner Patricia Copa set a $15,000 cash bond for Bauer. LeBray said the recommended charge against Vong stemmed from his disciplinary tactics or lack of care, and his bond was set at $20,000. Court Commissioner Patricia Copa is saying, this case has drawn attention because we have a missing child involved, and that, of course, pulls out the court's feelings and emotions and heartstrings for the care of the child, but it doesn't change the nature of the charges from any other neglect cause. And it says the mother and this Vaughn guy are due back in court Monday. Meanwhile, law enforcement have the entrance to a Calumet County landfill blocked off as the search for Elijah continued into day 4. There is a police presence at Hickory Meadows landfill, which is on Schneider Road in Hilbert. Chief Ben Minert posted on an update on the Two Rivers Police Department's Facebook page Friday night saying, quote, although you may see our biggest presence in the city of Two Rivers where Elijah was reported missing, know that our investigation also extends into neighboring communities as well as Elijah's city of residence in Wisconsin Dells. We continue to explore all avenues and possibilities in our efforts to locate Elijah. Two Rivers Police said in a statement Thursday that the public may see search efforts in areas such as local rivers and landfills as they continue to look for Elijah. The department is also working with other agencies in the case, including the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation, the FBI, an organization, I'm assuming A Child is Missing. I'm assuming that's the name of the organization. And NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. All municipal and county agencies have been brought in for assistance, as well as drones and canines from, swatting ads again. They brought in drones and canines from neighboring departments and the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Another quote says, we will leave no stone unturned. You will continue to see similar large-scale searches as we receive tips and continue our search for Elijah. Elijah was last seen by his adult caregiver. Now, I'm assuming, because I'd always wondered, because when this story first came out, it said that he was last seen by his adult caregiver, but they didn't say who it was, if it was the mother, somebody else. But apparently, from what I'm just deducing from this article, that if the mom had sent him for a week or more to this Vaughn character's house for disciplinary reasons, that I'm just assuming, I don't know, that this Vaughn fellow was the adult caregiver who was the last to be seen with Elijah. I could be completely wrong. There could have been other people in the house with this fella. Like I said, all it says is the adult caregiver. So I'm just going off I hate to assume and speculate, but sometimes. But you guys out there, feel free to let me know what you think. So he was last seen by whoever the adult caregiver was at 8 a.m. Tuesday at his home in the 3900 block of Mishicot Road. But see, now this says that at his home. So I'm confused about who the adult caregiver was at the time. He was reported missing to the Two Rivers Police Department, and an Amber Alert was activated Tuesday afternoon. Police said the entire public, even residents outside of Two Rivers, can aid in the search by, and they give a list, check your property anywhere a small child could hide, climb, or fall. Check your property for any items that don't belong to you, which could include anything from Elijah, such as this red, white, and black plaid blanket, what you see on the right hand of the slide is the blanket there, or dinosaur printed shoes. It also says check your surveillance systems from February 12th through February 20th, looking for anyone matching Elijah's description, and a search public land for the aforementioned items. If you find anything you think may be related to the investigation, you are asked not to touch it, but immediately contact the state tip line at 1-844-267-6648 or the Two Rivers Police Department at 1-920-686-7200. As Fox 11 reported Thursday afternoon, Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, as well as Jesse Vaughn, a man whose address and court records. Oh, okay. So Jesse Vaughn's address matches the court records matches where Elijah was last seen. So he was last seen, according to this, at this Vaughn's house. They are being held at the Manitowoc County Jail on allegations of child neglect. Officials say both will appear for bail hearings Friday, which was yesterday. But due to victim rights, no further information could be released regarding the charges. So that is the latest on little Elijah Vue, unless something has come out in the last 2 or 3 hours that I'm not aware of. Get caught up in the comments. Thank you, Dandy. Yes, definitely send me. Oh no, yes, I will reach out to you about if I can remember for the life of me what case I was thinking about. Yeah, Dandy says these child crimes seem to be in an uptick in cases. Is heartbreaking. I know, it's like every day is another child goes missing, and it just breaks my heart. Dandy also says it's sad to think about how these babies could have grown up and been a light in society, the next generation. Absolutely. Too many little lights. Reminds me of the song we used to sing in church and Girl Scouts, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Oh, heartbreaking. Oh, Dave's back. Our Owl on the Prowl is back. Dave says, good to know the Galveston, Texas Amber Alert for 15-year-old from New York was found safe. Excellent. I think you or somebody had mentioned that, or somebody mentioned that there was a missing teen in a Galveston. It was probably you. Kudos that, whether male, female, I don't know, but regardless, thank goodness that they were found safe. Thank goodness we get a little bit of good news amidst all this darkness and that we've been talking about. So thank you, Dave, for that information. Please, everybody, go check out Owl on the Prowl, Dave's channel. Yeah, we have so many Elijah, Gannon, Monkey, Harmony. Children just don't disappear unassisted. When they do, they're found quickly on the norm, alive or not. Yep, unfortunately. Welcome, Dom Nail. Good to have you here. You're a new face, a new name. Welcome. It's good to have you here. I don't know how you found us, but I'm glad you did. Lock the mother up. Yeah, evidently the mother and this male don't know the relation of the male to the mother, but yeah, they're locked up right now and facing, from what we understand, at the very least right now, neglect charges. But unfortunately, if depending on, like I said, we always keep hope alive, but if they find little Elijah in not so good condition, not alive. If the mother and this other fellow are has something to do, I'm sure other charges may be forthcoming. But welcome, Dom. We are very glad to have you here. So if Dom is still here, did you just happen upon us, or did you find us from another channel, or you know, if you don't want to say, that's fine. Regardless of how you found us, like I said, we are very happy to have you here. Welcome, my friend, our new friend. Oh, I'm almost pushing wrong buttons. Yes, you're getting very warm welcome from oh, excellent. Dom said he was searching for things for Audrii. Well, I'm glad you found us. Glad you found us, Dom. Welcome. I hope I haven't bored you to death or scared you off. I'm very glad to have you here. I hope you come back. And anybody else that's here lurking, not saying anything, that's fine. Lurkers are welcome. And the only thing we ask here is just always be respectful of families, anybody involved in these cases, and be respectful of each other's opinions. And we have a good community here. We can have adult conversations, no drama, no BS here. So everybody is welcome. Yes, thank you, Dandy. There is Dave's channel, our resident owl on the prowl. Dave has a very good channel. He covers true crime, breaking news. He does a lot of coverage of anything and everything. Breaking news of new breaking crime stories. He covers Delphi a lot. Not Delphi, well, Delphi too, but um, my brain is what am I thinking about? Not Delphi, the other oh geez, somebody remind me. The other two little girls, Harmon and I'm telling you, my brain is shut down. Evansdale. He covers Evansdale too. Dave covers everything. Dave does a good job, and he's usually, you have to be, if you want to catch Dave live, you have to be a night owl, because he goes on very late at night into early in the morning. But if you're not a night owl, definitely catch his replays. And so now, of course, Dave is talking about Waffle House. Unless what? He says, unless, of course, it comes to the Waffle House. Flora, yeah, well, that too. Yeah, Dave covers. I think he's done some shows about Flora. That's another case. I still need to get. But it's just I know about Flora, but there's so many other creators. It's not that I don't care about those four precious little girls. Oh my God, I can just see them. And then, but there's so many other creators out there who are so much better than me that have covered Flora. That do it a lot better than me. Dave has covered it. Ruckus has covered it. You guys can put in any other creators you know that have covered it. Yes, Dave says Flora is very close to me. Yep, I knew that, or I thought I remembered that you had covered Flora. Yes, most definitely justice for Flora. Like I said, I've never done any videos on Flora, but I have watched all the good creators, you know what I mean? There's good ones and bad ones that have covered this and know the ins and outs of the Flora case so much better than I do. So, like I said, Dandy or Dave or anybody, y'all got wrenches. I know Ruckus has covered it a lot. You can put, yes, Gisela, Grizzly True Crime. Dave said, has covered it. Yes, Dandy says it's another that needs solved and answered. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, Dave said Gizla, excuse me, Grizzly True Crime is the name of the channel. I love Gizla and Grizzly True Crime. She is outstanding. She covers live trials. She covers anything and everything that comes up. She is a master. Oh, and very much enjoy watching her stuff. All right, I think I'm. Well, oh no. Yes, Dave says Gizla is the bomb. I agree. Gizla is the bomb. She is one of the ones that I first started because before the just as an aside, if I can babble for a minute without scaring everybody off, before the Idaho 4 Brian Koberger case came along, the only thing that I did is before I started my channel, of course, before I started this channel, the only thing I used YouTube for was to come on and watch puppy and kitty videos and music videos, my 80s and 90s music videos, because that's about the only place I can find on that had the still played or had the 80s and 90s music videos was YouTube. And then when Idaho 4 happened, that horrible case in the Koberger, that just, I don't want to say it intrigued me, but it horrified me so much because it had been the first time that I'd known about in a long time that a crime of that magnitude had happened. And so I was devouring the 24/7 news cycle on my satellite, CNN, all the news stations that cover it 24/7. When they started repeating or ran out of information, I got on the Google machine, read articles. When I ran out of that, I turned to YouTube. And that is how I came to find the true crime YouTube world, true crime creators. Quickly, Gizla was one of the first ones I watched because she was covering it. And then I've always been into true crime. And so I quickly started watching anything and everything I could that these creators were putting out about the Idaho 4 case. Quickly found out, as I say, the good from the bad. Stayed away from the drama and the BS ones. And I found Gizla, I found True Crime Web, I found Chris from the Mob Crew, all the good ones. And like I said, Gizla. So yeah, that is how in the end, being inspired, having a passion for missing persons and cold cases, not, the ones close to my heart here in my home state, and then just in general, I was inspired to start my channel, and here we are. I passed my anniversary date. February 13th, I believe, was the anniversary date for my 1 year of my channel being up. So thank you, everybody who has been here from the beginning, who has continued to be here, who will hopefully be here in the future. Guys, we have to do, I couldn't do it without you guys. We all do it together. The community, other creators need to work together. Our communities need to work together, which for the most part, the communities that I'm in and associate with are the good people, good communities, the good creators who do this for the right reason. So that's my little soapbox for the night, or my little explanation, long-winded explanation of how I got into all this that I'm doing now. And thanks to everybody. Special shout out to Dandy Linus, who has showed me the ropes when I started doing, because I first started out just doing videos and uploading to my channel. And then I decided to try my hand at live streaming. And Dandy has showed me, and Dave too, has been instrumental in showing me the ropes and teaching me how to do this live streaming thing. So thank you to you guys. Let me, y'all making some comments. Yes, Dave says, I've been following Gizla since she had about 1,000 followers. Yeah, I can't remember how many followers she had, but I know that since I've been watching her, like I said, back whenever, how long is the Koberger thing been going on now, the Idaho 4 thing, a year at least or more? she has grown tremendously since that time. I'm just so proud of her, just so in awe of her. And oh, Dave said she's too big for this peon now. No, you're not a peon, Dave. See, that's what I always say about myself. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm a goofy woman sitting here trying to get this information out the best way I can about this missing and missing persons and cold cases to the best of my ability. I don't care. The only reason I care about how many subscribers I have and likes, shares, and comments is because with the YouTube algorithm, the more subscribers, likes, shares, comments you get, it pushes it out to more people. And that's the most important thing, is to get this information out that I usually cover, as in the missing persons and cold cases, out to as many people as possible to bring more awareness to these cases. Dandy says, she was around 50,000 or so. I don't follow much anymore. It's chaotic. Yeah. I think she's over 100,000 now. And I don't watch a lot. I mean, I used to watch everything she put out back, like I said, during the Koberger, Idaho 4 and stuff. But she's, and I don't begrudge her anything, but, yeah, she's got, like I said, thousands of subscribers now, and she covers a lot of the, trial coverage, and I can watch a little bit of live trial coverage, but after a while I just have to quit because it depends on what they're talking about and what case they're doing. But yeah, it is a little you can't get, she has so many people in chat, you can't get the word in edgewise, so I might check out some of her videos that she does on some cases that I've never heard of. But Dave says he likes the small guys, it's more personal. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, Dandy said that. Wait a minute. Dave said, hold on. Oh, thanks, Dave. Dave says, congratulations, Southern Gal. I couldn't do it. It's not me. It's all of us. I couldn't do it without you guys. If you guys didn't sit here and either listen to me babble on these live streams and watch my videos and comment on them and share them and give the thumbs up and all that, I wouldn't be here. I'm one of the small guys or the small gals. Dave says, small guy. You're a big guy, Dave. Thank you, Dandy. Like I said, it's not me. It's not just me. It's all of us. Yes, I absolutely cannot forget Miss Frankie Rose, the think tank. Please check out, and Dandy, if you haven't already, you can, or Dave. Dave has a wrench, unless you're driving. If you're still driving, Dave, don't do it. Throw in the link to Miss Frankie's channel. Absolutely, I love Miss Frankie. Okay, guys, this is a family show. Dandy says, yes, it's about size. Yes, Dave is very comical. You guys are killing me. Dandy says, she likes a big brain. I know. Now Dave's talking about staying at the Holiday Inn Express at times. I don't know if we want to know the story behind that one, Dave. Mrs. Dave, does Mrs. Dave stay there with you? Or actually, I think you are Mr. Heather. She is not Mrs. Dave. She was in Dave's wife, significant other, was in I think chat maybe one time a couple of weeks ago. Got the pleasure of speaking with her. Don't know how she puts up with Dave, but no, I always give Dave a hard time. We love you, Dave. See, Dave, we're laughing. Wait a minute. Wrong one. We're laughing. Oh no, Dandy's laughing. Laughing? Are you laughing at Dave? We're laughing with you, Dave. We're not laughing at you. Yeah. Yes, we're blaming on Dave. We blame everything on Dave. No, we love Dave, but we have to give Dave a hard time. Call it Dave's another one of my OGs, as I say. First saw Dave in when I first started watching True Crime Web with Mr. and Mrs. Steve. I always saw him in the chats before I started when I was a lurker and didn't comment much, and then when Mr. Steve started doing and I understand why he doesn't do them because he's got a lot of important work to do, but when Mr. Steve was doing his morning watch, lots of good times in there. We always started out talking about true crime, but it always devolved into what? Waffle House. Yeah. So Dandy is blaming Dave. He's baiting her. I'm gonna have to put you both in timeout. Kids, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Yes. There is the Miss Frankie, the Think Tanks channel. Definitely, thank you, Dave. Definitely go check out Miss Frankie. I've got to get over there and get caught up on all Miss Frankie's stuff. I haven't had a chance. This week has been crazy with my mom being sick and everything going on, and I'm still trying to fill out applications for jobs, and I've had a lot going on the last week and a half. So I haven't. I've got to do some binge watching of my YouTube creators and get caught up. Okay, so I think I'm caught up. Let's see what we got next. Okay, so this, if nobody, and I do have a video short, well, it's about 2 minutes. Give me a voice another little break. Show of hands for the 3 people that are in here who have heard of the Angie Dodge case, which I believe was from 1995, 1996. And Angie Dodge was found brutal homicide. I'll play this video clip for you because it explains it much more eloquently than I do for anybody who's not heard of this case and everything that's happened. A person was convicted. He spent 20 years in prison. Turns out, or the Innocence Project got involved, and C.C. Moore from Parabon Labs, and Carolyn Dodge, who is Angie Dodge's mother, got involved, and Chris Tapp was the one who was wrongfully convicted. He was definitely wrongfully convicted. Spent 20 years in prison nonetheless. He got out. They found the right person, which turned out to be Brian Drips, I believe is his name. The video will tell. But this startling piece of information, I don't know if I should read the article first or play the I'll read the article first, because this article, well, no, I'm going to play the video first, because this article is where I found out this startling piece of information that I had not, because I haven't been keeping up with this case after Chris Tapp was exonerated and the real offender was incarcerated. Shocking what happened to Chris Tapp after he was released from prison. So I will play. Once again, I'm going to mute my mic and camera for a minute while I play this video. Then I'll read you the article, because the video, I don't think, gives away what happened to Chris. So let me take this down. Let me go out because I have to do this from my phone to mute myself, or one of myselves. Okay, so I will be back shortly, hopefully.
It was an almost every night thing during the summertime.
There'd be hundreds of people down at the boat docks just enjoying ourselves.
She was definitely a part of the girls that came down to the river.
It was wild that somebody we knew had been murdered.
I remember waking up on my birthday. The police pulled me out of bed, told me I was under arrest for accessory to the murder of Angie Dodge.
And your friend Chris says you did it.
You don't lie about something like that. What the hell are you thinking, man?
Was there a collective sigh of relief when Chris Tapp was arrested?
I was finally looking somebody in the eyes who had taken my daughter's life.
Every time they did a DNA sample that didn't match, I think it was a punch in the gut every time.
Secrets can be kept, I guess, but science reveals those secrets.
For 13 years, I kept saying, he confessed, Carol. He confessed.
We've got a suspect here, and they're admitting to this. Why would we do anything differently?
Her words to me were, I just want to know what happened to my daughter.
I was extremely angry.
So what'd you do?
I asked for copies of all of the videotapes.
This was the worst example of fact-feeding, suggesting a story that I have ever seen in all my years at looking at these cases.
I've been so wronged all these years.
Let's look at this completely differently with the technology we have now.
I've been a little lucky. Lucky enough that you guys picked up the case. Lucky that the Dodge family started to believe in my innocence.
Chris had ideas of what he was going to do for the rest of forever.
We're only halfway done with life, so we got the good half now.
I don't think anybody saw this coming.
Okay, that was the teaser for that episode was actually of Dateline. I love to watch Dateline. I think I've heard Dave say that he likes to watch Dateline. That was the teaser for the episode of Dateline they showed last night, which was about this case. And I hadn't I DVR'd it and I hadn't watched it yet. And then this morning when I was on the Google machine, just looking up stuff, looking for updates, this popped up on the homepage of Google. So I clicked on this article and it shocked me about what I'm going to read to you about what has happened to Chris Tapp. And I'm like, well, I want to know more about it. And then it dawned on me, my mind's a little slow most of the time. I've got that episode recorded. So as soon as I got all of my slideshow, everything prepared for this live, I watched the show, the Dateline show, and it just was I was blown away. So let me quit babbling once again and read this article. Some of you, you might already know what happened to Chris if you've been following this case. So this is from NBC News from the 23rd, yesterday, day before, whatever day it is now. And it says, an exonerated Idaho man finally had his freedom. What came next was incomprehensible. Most definitely. So in September, Chris Tapp recorded an interview with Dateline at his Idaho home. He had served 20 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. And the interview was the last time he planned on public. I have trouble with this word. Publicly discussing the 1996 homicide of his friend, because they were friends. They had a group of friends. Angie Dodge, the 18-year-old Idaho woman whom Tapp was wrongfully convicted of taking the life of. Tapp did not want to be remembered as the man from the Angie Dodge case, he said, but rather as an advocate. I can't talk. I can't use my words tonight. He wanted to be remembered as an advocate, someone who, after his 2019 exoneration, pushed lawmakers in his state and others to provide fair compensation to people who have been wrongly convicted. He said, I have to move forward. But what came next was incomprehensible, as a local journalist put it. 6 weeks after the interview, this Dateline interview, Tapp, 47, passed away after he was rushed to a hospital from his Resorts World suite in Las Vegas. A spokesperson for Tapp's family told Dateline. His death was initially described as an accident, but the Las Vegas Metro Police Department said, but the Clark County Coroner's Office later ruled it as a homicide. Authorities have released few details on the incident. No suspects have been publicly identified, and the department has not discussed a possible motive. So apparently, and I don't know, it may tell in the article, apparently they found out somehow through investigation that he had got into some kind of altercation or a fight with another individual in his motel room or suite, and suffered some kind of blunt force trauma to the head, which they initially thought came from a fall, and that's why they initially ruled it as an accident. But when the coroner took a look at it, the coroner, he or she said, it looks like a homicide. So to George Pahis, P-A-H-I-S, who knew Tapp for 3 decades, the arc of his close friend's life was tragic. He had gone from, quote, failing through life as a kid to failing through life as a kid to losing 20 years behind bars. Then he had been gifted a new life and was living free from worry. His friend says Chris's life being cut short is the exact opposite of what anyone expected from Chris. Chris had expectations, he had dreams, he had ideas of what he was going to do for the rest of forever, and it was taken from him. So just a little background for anyone not familiar with the Angie Dodge case. So Tapp was charged with first-degree homicide in February of 1997, roughly 8 months after Angie's body was discovered in her Idaho Falls apartment. Definite trigger warning here. I don't know if I ever made it back into my... Anyway, trigger warning. Angie had been essayed and nearly decapitated, authorities said. Tapp and Dodge were part of a group that often hung out by the Snake River. They called them, I think in the Dateline episode, they called them the River Kids. And he initially told police that he did not know anything about the crime. Interview transcripts show, but after multiple polygraph tests and additional interviews with investigators, Chris Tapp, then 20, confessed to participating in the assault and homicide, and he did implicate initially 2 other what they call river rats or river kids, as the group was known. One of the friends was accused, though the charges were later dismissed, according to an account of Tapp's case in the University of Michigan's National Registry of Exonerations. A jury did convict Tapp in 1998, and he was sentenced to 40 years in prison. In 2012, Chris told Dateline that when he offered his false confession, he had only been trying to appease police and tell them what he believed they wanted to hear. By then, the Idaho Innocence Project had taken up his case, and Angie's mother, Carolyn, I believe is her name, had come to believe that the man, Chris, who had been convicted of taking the life of her daughter, was likely innocent. When Carol is her name, not Carolyn, Carol Dodge, when she watched videos of Chris's interrogation, There were times when, quote, I wanted to put my fist through the TV, she told Dateline. And if you can find this anywhere, this Dateline episode, if you have not watched it, I encourage you to watch it. It is, in my opinion, I'm not one to down law enforcement. I support law enforcement, first responders, absolutely, but this was, in my opinion, and even the opinion of the victim's mother, that definitely wrongdoings were done by some law enforcement involved in this case. So when Chris appeared to know little about Angie's apartment, for instance, she was stunned to see investigators show him crime scene images. So they're basically saying they were leading him. If he didn't know the right answer, they would kind of lead him, or because I watched the episode and like, well, you're sure this is what happened? This is where this was at. And they showed him pictures of the crime scene, which, in my uneducated opinion, when you're questioning a suspect, you would not want to do that, because you would want to make sure that you have the right guy, and he would have information that only the offender would know. But anyway. So Steve Drizzen, who is a clinical professor of law at Northwestern University and co-director of the Center on Wrongful Convictions, reviewed videos of the confession at Carol Dodge's request and told Dateline it was, quote, the worst example of police contamination and fact-feeding that he had ever seen. And in my opinion, I tend to agree with him. In an interview with Dateline, the investigators denied feeding Tapp details of the crime. But in 2017, after Tapp's lawyer alleged that his client had been coerced, the prosecutor's office reached an agreement to vacate Tapp's SA conviction and reduce the sentence in his homicide conviction to time served, according to the registry. But even with that, Chris was still guilty of homicide according to the terms of the agreement, but the deal meant that he could be released from prison. Chris said that was one of the hardest decisions of my life, to continue to have to say that I was convicted of first-degree homicide that I know I did not do, but I had to move on with my life, and that was the only opportunity I had. So I took it with the best ability that I had. So by 2019, the rest of Chris's conviction had been erased. DNA found on Angie's body linked another suspect to the homicide, and a witness who had first said that she had heard Chris admit to Angie's homicide. She recanted her testimony, saying authorities had pressured her to lie. Of course, authorities denied this allegation, which was included in a federal lawsuit that Chris later filed against the city of Idaho Falls. And on May 15th, 2019, a man who had been a neighbor of Angie Dodge, Brian Drips, you see is on the right-hand side of the slide is Brian Drips, was arrested and charged in Angie's homicide. He later pled guilty and was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. 2 months after Drips' arrest, a judge declared Chris innocent of all charges, and he was exonerated. So, Chris Tapp described his experience after prison as overwhelming. Seeing the courthouse filled with supporters, he got a cell phone, choosing, he says, which underwear to buy. He wasn't used to any of that. So can you imagine, he went to jail in the 90s, late 90s, 96, 97. He got out in the 2000s. Even just those few years, even just those few years, so many things change. Cell phones change. Everything changes. He says the first time he went shopping, he said, I had to run out of the store because I couldn't handle it all. Still, he started settling into a new life. He started working at a bag making factory. He bought a home. He got married. He saw old friends. He lobbied Idaho's governor to sign a bill providing compensation to the wrongfully convicted. And in 2021, that bill became law, providing $62,000 for each year a person was incarcerated and $75,000 annually for people who had been on death row. So for Tapp, that meant $1.2 million that he got. A sum he said that was greatly appreciated and needed. This advocacy became a mission for Tapp. After his release, his lawyer, John Thomas, told Dateline. Tapp traveled the country, Thomas said, speaking at legal seminars and working with legislators. In Oregon, he pushed lawmakers to pass a similar compensation bill to Idaho's. And in 2022, Oregon's governor signed it into law. Tapp had also filed the federal lawsuit against Idaho Falls and its police department alleging egregious misconduct. And in 2022, the city settled, approving a settlement of $11.7 million. The mayor issued a formal apology for the, quote, harm and damages that were done to Chris Tapp. So this is where we get into, they say tragedy strikes. Excuse me. Apparently my sipper's not agreeing with me. The following year, Tapp's marriage ended in tragedy, and this was before even what happened to Chris. In August, as the couple was divorcing, his wife passed away in a car crash while driving a Corvette that he had recently bought her with settlement money. The tragedy was compounded when 2 months later, Tapp visited Las Vegas for a car show. His lawyer said he learned from Tapp's mother that Chris had been hospitalized and was in a coma after tripping, falling, and hitting his head on a coffee table in a hotel suite. His mother said it was devastating to hear that, the lawyer said it was devastating to hear that because it seemed so mundane. About 2 months later, Las Vegas police said medical personnel had found Tapp on October 29th suffering injuries that were the result of a, quote, purported accident. But homicide detectives learned that prior to Chris's death, he had been in a fight inside a hotel room. So the coroner's office ruled that he passed away as a result of blunt force trauma to the head. A department spokesperson said no additional details about Chris's death were available. Thomas, who said he's acting as a liaison between the Las Vegas police and Chris's mother, said that he is aware of an ongoing investigation into Chris's death, but he has not reviewed the autopsy and he declined to comment further. To Nate Eaton, news director of the East Idaho News, who has covered Chris's case for years, the development was unimaginable. He says, I don't know if there's a way to make sense of any of this, he told Dateline. It is just so incomprehensible. So that shocked me because I had not heard the only information I'd heard up to was that when Chris was exonerated, when they found the DNA, matched the DNA, and the C.C. Moore from Parabon Nanolabs, from this DNA, degraded DNA she said they had, she started building this family tree and was able to find Brian Drips through a genetic genealogy. with the little bit of DNA she had and working up this family tree. That's the last I'd heard until, like I said, this article happened to pop up the day after this Dateline show, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So what do you guys think about that? There's just craziness. Let me, since my second self is back working again, let me, thank you, Dandy. Dandy says, oh, hold on. It's cutting me off here. See if that helped. There we go. Dandy says, we miss you in the think tank, but real life prevails. Much love to you. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I've just had a whole lot of stuff going on. Mom's feeling better. She went back to work. She worked half a day today. She works at a nursing home in dietary cooking. But yeah, for the last week and a half, she was down for the count. A couple of times I was to the point of taking her to the emergency room, but I still think she needs to go back to the doctor. But she's stubborn, just like I am. So, but I'm still keeping my eye on her. Oh my goodness! Now I have Danny Linus says, did y'all hear about the new LE officer in Tennessee that drowned with his first arrest in the back seat? I read a headline about that, and I was going to go back and read the article, and I lost it. That is horrible. You know, I just remember reading the headline about a police officer and a detainee or whatever. The car had gone into the water. But yeah, I didn't know. So did they both drown? I'm assuming. That's horrible. I have to look that up. That's why I count on you guys to Dandy and Dave and everybody else, especially on the Discord, either on Miss Frankie's Discord or people that post stuff on my Discord about these cases that I wouldn't have any idea about. If you guys didn't bring it to my attention. Dandy says we should watch it together. What are you talking about? Says if we could watch it together without you getting struck, I'm interested. Oh, were you talking about the Dateline? I could probably do it without. What are the I could probably do it without getting struck because it would probably, if I understand fair use, as long as you stop it every once in a while and comment on it, it's fair use. I just don't know going through my phone, trying to do show a video through my phone, if it might crash and burn. If that's what you're talking about, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I tell you what, if I can find it. God, my head is going crazy. See how we could do this. Now, I know that somebody is gone. I think Dandy and Dave are the only ones in here. I don't know if Dandy's gone or Dave is gone. Oh, somebody's back. If you're talking about the Dateline show, the Chris Tapp show, if that's what you're talking about, Dandy, if you're still here, I'm like I said, I'm just worried about trying to go through my phone. It'll barely let me try to share a page, much less share a video. But if I can find it streaming somewhere on one of my streaming services, because all the videos that you send me, you know, with my big fancy setup I've got here, big fancy studio and equipment, the videos I show are actually screen recorded off my phone, and then I edit them down, size them up, and then that's how I show videos. I can't show them. I can't do like Dave does. He's very good, has better internet and Wi-Fi service. I just have to go rely on the my cell service through my phone, my Wi-Fi hotspot, and it's spotty at best. But if I can find, or if Dave even could find, I will look tonight or tomorrow, and if it's streaming anywhere, I will screen record it, and maybe tomorrow night at some time, if anybody's up for another late night, semi-late night, we could watch it together. I'll screen record it. It may not be the best. It'll be, the quality of the videos that I show on here that I screen record. Like I said, nobody's answered, so I don't know if Dandy's even still here. But yeah, Dandy, if you're here or watching the last of it, I could do that. Hopefully I won't get struck. Like I said, if I understand fair use, if you're showing a video and you stop, pause it, every so often and make comments on it, I think that falls under fair use. Like I said, I'm still new to this streaming, so I don't know about if I would get struck. Oh, Dave's still here. You had to let the dogs out. Once again, we know who let the dogs out. Dave let the dogs out. I'm glad you're here, Dave. I think you're the only one here right now, but that's okay. Anybody else can watch them. I think we're about done. I may have one more. I wanted to go over the baby Skylar case. Somebody, Dandy or Mexie or somebody, brought this case to my attention. Are you talking about your dogs? Your dogs are annoying, Dave? I don't have dogs, but you've heard me, I'm sure. I was just yelling at my cat for running amok. My cat gets on my nerves sometimes. I love all critters, but yeah, it don't matter. Any kind of critter can be annoying. So this baby Skylar case, quickly, very disturbing. I always want to say interesting, disturbing case. But like I said, somebody in the community brought this to my attention. So this is from People Magazine. Swatting ads. Instead of playing Whack a Troll, I'm playing Whack an Ad. Yeah, it's not going away. Anyway, this is from February 20th of this year from People Magazine. It says, baby Skylar case, Washington woman accused in 2005 death of newborn found in Phoenix airport restroom. Investigators in Phoenix made a long-awaited break in a 2005 cold case surrounding a deceased baby, who was left in an airport bathroom. Phoenix police alleged Monday that a woman being held in Washington named Annie Anderson had admitted to the crime. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Anderson, 51, faces a first-degree homicide charge and will soon be extradited to Maricopa County in Arizona, according to reports by all sorts of local news stations. Authorities have been searching for the mother since 2005. So what, 19 years now? When the baby was found deceased in a restroom. Trigger warning for anybody still here or watching replay. When the baby was found deceased in a restroom trash can at the Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. The baby girl, who was found wrapped in a hotel bag, became known as baby Skylar as investigators searched for her mother. The baby was first discovered by a janitor, according to the East Valley Tribune at the time. Investigators said at the time there was a, quote, huge amount of suspects to sift through, given that the airport averaged a reported 100,000 people per day. It's a lot of people. Investigators estimated that the baby, who still had her umbilical cord attached at the time she was found, had been in the restroom for up to 11 hours. Because that was the last time the bathroom had been cleaned before she was discovered. So not making light, not joking, but not only is this disturbing because you found a baby in this restroom, but it also disturbs me that the restroom had not been, an airport restroom had not been cleaned in 11 hours. Ugh. Anyway, like I said, I'm not joking. I'm just, yuck. Okay, so says she just literally was welcomed into the world only to be emmed. Troy Hillman, a retired homicide detective with the Phoenix Police Department, said, according to CBS 5, he said, quote, "It was just horrific." Absolutely. Sorry, I'm still trying to get rid of ads. There we go. Investigators had turned to several new technologies while attempting to track down their mother over the last 2 decades. And the picture you see on the right was a computer-generated sketch of what the mother may have looked like. In 2017, investigators began using a tool called Snapshot, which used DNA found on the baby to make a sketch of the child's mother, which is, as I pointed out, the picture you see there. Then in 2021, investigators began using, once again, genetic genealogy, which ultimately led to a break in the case. Phoenix police said Monday, according to NBC. Anderson was taken into custody on a warrant for her arrest, according to the outlet. And I could not, I do have another article I'm going to read from that I found today. She has been arrested. After this, she was arrested on some more stuff. Could not find a picture, her actual picture of the actual person, mother, anywhere. But anyway, Anderson was taken into custody on a warrant for her arrest. CBS reports that police confirmed Anderson was the mother after interviewing the 51-year-old woman in Washington. This didn't have to be this way, Hillman, the homicide detective, said, according to the outlet, and somebody needed to explain why they did what they did. Absolutely. So that was that article, and I hope I remember to bookmark the other one. Yeah, there it is. So this one, it'll come up, is from azfamily.com, and it is from February 21st of this year, so a few days ago. So a woman arrested in baby Skylar case, also accused of burglary in Washington. So it says a woman who is facing first-degree homicide charges in connection to a newborn found deceased at Phoenix Sky Harbor in October of 2005 was accused of burglarizing a Washington state business in 2022. That business owner is sharing her experience. Annie Anderson is in a Washington state jail awaiting extradition to Arizona after police said she took her newborn baby's life. I'm not going to give the details again. And then abandoned her in the women's restroom at the Phoenix airport more than 17 years ago. Arizona's family learned on Wednesday that she lived in Arlington, Washington, the same city where Kelly Severson owned an art studio. And the Severson said that she was a theft victim of Annie Anderson a couple of years ago. She said she was disturbed by the recent news about the homicide charges. And Severson said in 2022 she had hired Anderson to create a website for their store and paid her $3,000 up front. Then she just went ghost on me. Nothing else. Did not hear from her again. She blocked everything. Severson said when she reversed that money off her credit card, Anderson reached back out. She said she was angry, yelling at me, but they had reversed the $3,000 out of her account, and she was mad. Boo-hoo. And so that's why when we got broken into, we at first thought it had to be her, and after looking at the videos, it was her. Severson shared surveillance videos of the theft, which she claims is Annie Anderson. The Arlington Police Department says they can confirm Anderson was accused of the theft and that it is the same woman now facing the homicide charges for baby Skylar. But they could not arrest her for the theft due to lack of evidence. Well, I guess the theft right now is the least of her worries. So while working to uncover more about baby Skylar's mother, we learned her name didn't used to be Annie Anderson. New documents show she legally changed it in 2019 from Leanne Sue Stenberg. So apparently Annie Anderson obviously was an alias. Leanne Sue Stenberg was her legal name. What police said she confessed to the 2005 homicide. We still don't know what truly happened that day and why she allegedly took the life of her own baby. Severson said that based on her experience with Anderson and her demeanor, that she sadly wasn't surprised. She said after knowing her and all the things that she'd done to people, she probably did have something like that in her. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office confirmed on Wednesday. Prosecutors sent over the extradition paperwork to the Arizona governor's office to extradite her. That sets the wheels in motion for extradition, and that now means there's a 90-day deadline to get her to Arizona. And if Anderson wasn't fighting extradition, she would already be in Arizona. So, of course, she's fighting extradition. Hopefully they can get that taken care of and get her extradited to Arizona before the 90 days is up. So that is the latest in the baby Skylar case. So yeah, like I said, one of my subscribers, viewers, Mexi, Dandy, somebody had mentioned this case to me. I think maybe when I was doing my Missing Person Monday episode, I think Mexi was there and asked me about if this case was included. And I said no, but give me the details. And she or Dandy One put the article on my Discord. And anyway, I wanted to share it with you guys because it's horrible. All these children that are whether it be newborns up to 10, 11 years old, all these children didn't have a chance. All right, let's see if I got anything else. Okay, quickly, because we've been here almost 3 hours. Just wanted to kind of end on a little bit of a lighter note. Almost ended the stream. Almost pushed the wrong button. They had a celebration of life for Cassidy Ritchie, who was unfortunately found deceased. It was determined that allegedly her husband of less than a year, maybe about 5 months, allegedly had taken her life. He's been arrested. I just found this article that had an interview with the family members. They're having a celebration of life for Cassidy. So I just wanted to read from it, and it is from newson6.com, and all the articles and everything I've read from and the videos, I have them, I think, already linked in the description box. So you know where I get this information from. Then you can go check it out for yourself if you want to read it. If you don't want to listen to me babble and read it. This article is from February 4th of 2024. And it says, we can't move on, but we have to go on. Family and friends remember Tulsa woman found deceased. Family members and friends held a celebration of life on Sunday to remember Cassidy Ritchie, whose life was taken, and she was found deceased in her SUV. Family and friends of a Tulsa woman whose life was taken in January are celebrating her life. Cassidy Ritchie was found deceased in her SUV on the side of Highway 412 1 week ago. And like I said, this is from the beginning of February. And about 100 people came out Sunday to show their support for Cassidy. Many wore her favorite colors, pink and purple, two of my favorite colors. After the service, they held a balloon release in her honor. Family and friends focused on celebrating Cassidy's life and the things that she loved to do, like enjoying snacks and drinks and sharing stories. They described her as intelligent, funny, and the center of attention. Her son, Joey, said, "We want to keep kind of what happened to her out of the way. We want to celebrate her and who she was as a person, what she did in her life, and that's what we did. It was good to keep the negativity out and the positivity in." Absolutely. Cassidy's husband is being held on a $5 million bond. He is accused of taking her life. Her family says one way for them to get justice is to make sure that no one else is a victim of DV. This is when people will remember what happened, said David, who is her son. The way that we're putting it out there, the way that we're keeping her name alive, keeping her face out there and her story alive, that's what we want. We don't want this to be another girl who got her life taken. We want this to be Cassidy Ritchie. She was a great person, a great mom, a great human being. They say what Ritchie would want, what Cassidy would want them to do now is not to stop and grieve her, but instead to live their lives to the fullest and love others. Her son goes on to say, "I want to keep my mom's name alive and her story. I know after this, we'll all go back to our normal lives. But like my grandmother said, we can't move on. We've got to go on. We're going to keep doing that. My mom wouldn't want me to stay here and stop my life for this. She would want me to keep going to school." David says his challenge to others is to make sure you tell your loved ones just how valuable they are to you. Absolutely. In my own family, this is once again her son saying, "In my own family, there are some grudges that we all hold against each other, and that's in all families, unfortunately." He says, "I'm sure that goes for a lot of families too. I just wanted to put that out there because people could be struggling. You might not even know it. Like my grandma said, just talk to anyone. It doesn't matter what you're going through, who you are, who you know. Someone out there will want to help you and want to talk to you." I don't know how old this young man is, her son, but he is a wise beyond his years. There were also DV victim advocates at the service talking to people about the signs of DV in relationships and what resources are available. So that was the celebration of life for Cassidy Ritchie. Words from very, like I said, I'm sure how old her son is. I think he may be a teenager, maybe early 20s, because I have seen video of him, but this young man, very strong. Cassidy, I believe, also has a younger daughter. But this young man, her son, very, very strong young man, wise beyond his years. So, thoughts and prayers and good vibes to Cassidy Ritchie's family. Like I said, I just wanted to kind to end on that, kind of a little bit of a high note. Let's see what we got going on. Yep, Dandy says, any case about someone ended by a loved one is a little harder to digest. I don't understand how people do this. I know. You know, it's like not only do we have to worry about stranger danger, strangers taking a loved one's life, your life, but a lot of cases you have to worry about your loved ones or somebody's loved ones or family members taking their lives. It's just, I just don't understand this world we're in today. Sometimes I don't even want to get out of bed and face it, but we got to keep going. Us good ones out here have to keep going, and like I always say, we've got to take care of ourselves, be careful, and take care of our fellow human beings. And that's all we can do. All right. Nobody has anything else. We've been on here almost 3 hours, so I'm going to get out of here. Once again, anybody new here that was here lurking, watching replay, if you enjoy what we do here, find it interesting or informative, please consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. It helps small channels like mine, helps this important information reach more people. So with that, I'm going to say thank everybody for watching. Everybody who was here in chat. Don't want to forget anybody. Of course, Dave was here. Dandy was here. Dom. We had a new friend in here. Trying to scroll down through comments. Dom was here. Dom Nail. Welcome, Dom. Glad that you stopped in. So it's loading the comments. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Thank you, everybody that was here. Junior was here. Thank you, Junior. Junior was here earlier. I think I'm about up to the top of the comments. Yes, thank you, everybody that was here in chat. Everybody who was here lurking. Everybody who watches on replay. Thank you very much. And what's today? Saturday. I'll probably do. I just have a missing person Monday video Monday. Unless I don't get it recorded between now and Monday, then I'll do a live stream. But if I do a live stream, I'll give you guys, anybody who wants to join in. It'll probably be during the day, Monday, around 10ish or 11ish, Central U.S. time. So until Monday, everybody, like I said, take care of yourselves. Be very careful out there. Take care of each other, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.